Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we are discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual GMT-Master II 116718 in solid 18-karat yellow gold case, bezel, and bracelet. You can see and you can purchase this spectacular green GMT hand, yellow gold GMT-Master II dual time on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this super case green GMT hand, full yellow gold pilot's watch from Rolex. Now the watch you see here debuted at Basel World 2005, and it was instantly a revelation and a revolution. A revelation because Rolex had upgraded every aspect of its cases, its dials, its bracelets, and its clasps in a single generation change within the GMT Master family. It also set the stage for all of the changes that were to be wrought throughout the Rolex lineup, all the bracelet revisions, all of the clasp revisions, all of the case dimension changes, and the upgrade to Serichrome ceramic bezels almost across the board within the sports watch families. This was truly one of the landmark Rolex watches, and that's considering the entirety of the company's August heritage. So this revolutionary landmark watch, this one is actually an M series, so roughly 2008. Built about 3 years after that first landmark GMT Master II with Serichrome bezel. It fits like the Supercase family does. The Supercase is a bigger, squared off, broader, and more robust case that replaced the original tapered lug Rolex cases that have prevailed since, well, time immemorial. It's still 40 millimeters in diameter across the wrist, and I can't overemphasize that if you could wear the old watches in the original style case, you can wear this one. It feels different, but it should fit the same. Now, it's very hefty, and one of the true changes to fit, one of the few true changes to fit, came in the form of the solid end links of this bracelet, which is a robust 51 millimeters across the wrist and does extend the watch appreciably beyond its non-bracelet lug-to-lug case-only measurement of 48 millimeters. So if you are that guy who wants to put the watch on an aftermarket strap from Everest or Rubber Bee, it's going to be 48 millimeters lug-to-lug. Worn on the bracelet, it's 51. It is, however, quite slim, only 12 millimeters thick. It'll slide underneath any dress cuff. So the watch, in full gold and formal in its disposition, does work well with dress attire. However, it has a sporting sensibility about it that is rare on full gold timepieces. Part of that is created by the 3-link Oyster bracelet design. Now the Oyster here, solid end links, solid center link, milled out clasp, very robust. It's always been a more sporting alternative to the Jubilee and the President. Of course, the President never available on the GMT, the Jubilee not available on this generation of GMT, but you won't miss it because this sporting 3-link design has a masculinity and a heft and a presence that makes the watch more appropriate when you're not wearing it for a formal occasion. Satin finished on the flanks, polished down the center, the outer shoulders, all of high polish. You can see underneath, it's well suited to hot days too. Plenty of aeration through the bracelet as well as the scalloped channels between links to avoid pinching skin and pulling hair. All polished. You know when you see the interior of a Rolex clasp and it's fully polished, you're looking at a flagship piece. The entry-level watches are always of a media blasted finish. Now this one features Rolex's 5mm Easy Link quick adjust system that allows you to take in or take out the equivalent of one sizable link. Now that's great if you want to cinch it in or cinch it out on a hot day as activity or inactivity dictate. The clasp is beautifully made, very solid. These days when you close a Rolex clasp, you feel it and you hear it. Double finished with a high polish as well as satin. It uses a secure clamshell, and Rolex thought of everything. You can see when the clamshell closes, it actually fits flush within a channel that's been sculpted into the clasp specifically for the clamshell closure. No pennies pinched here. Now the case, likewise, objectively just gives you more gold than in previous precious metal Rolex GMTs. As you can see, the lugs themselves feature a spacing of 20 millimeters, so 20 millimeters is the size of a strap should you wish to fit one, but the lugs themselves, if you look at them in profile, are broad. They're more broad in their shoulder, squared off, burlier than the previous tapered cases. There's also less curvature to the case flank than in the period. This is the super case that I've often mentioned in my videos. Now the Serichrome bezel was new for 2005 and this generation of the GMT Master, and what it is essentially it's a metal bezel, so precious metal, it's all of gold, but there is a ceramic insert rather than the previous anodized aluminum. The advantage of this is that it's effectively as scratch resistant as sapphire. It doesn't scratch, it doesn't scuff, it doesn't wear through, and in time it'll look just as good as the day you bought the watch. Now what you will see is that precious metal, gold, has been deposited within the recesses for the indices and the numerals. So again, durability is the byword for this system, but it also has a gloss and a gleam and a richness to it missing in the previous anodized. Now you'll also note that it's a bidirectional GMT or pilot style bezel, which means that it's used in conjunction with the GMT hand and the local airport or port offsets from GMT to allow this watch to temporarily give you 3 time zones if you so choose. So you have that functionality, but you can also just line it up if you're not using it because it's not a dive bezel. It can move in both directions. If you're just using it for timing on the surface, it's just as easy to line it up with the minute hand and treat 6 like 15 and 12 like 30 and 18 like 45 and use it as a countdown bezel. It's perfectly acceptable for that. Gloss dial, you can see this watch had a few flourishes that were special and original at the time, including the green shock where the marquee GMT-Master II is written, the green GMT hand that's almost become a namesake of this model, and of course the date disc entirely green on white print. A handsome dial, it features yellow gold appliques and yellow gold hands to match, as well as a black gloss base, beautifully reflective and gleaming with a depth to it. It almost has the quality of enamel. Turning the watch over, you can see the crown guards are substantial with the super case, and Rolex decides that its movements are nicely finished, but not artisanally so. So it's not going to be cynical and throw a $30 sapphire case back on there. Instead, it gives you the full chunk of solid gold over its caliber 3186 automatic. Automatic winding, smooth bidirectional motion with Teflon reversing wheels. Refinement is the word. The watch also features the 48-hour power reserve in conjunction with refinements that allow you to hack the seconds hand, so you can pull the crown out to extremity, stop the seconds hand, and synchronize the watch to a reference. Plus, as this is a GMT-Master II, you have the ability to drive that local hour hand independently of the rest. You'll note the watch continues to tick and keep time as you travel. You'll also note that you can drive the date disc in both directions as you cross the international date line with no hazard to the system. Full balance bridge with a free sprung index means that this caliber 3186 is tough. Now it also features a Parachrome blue hairspring with a Breguet overcoil, those two features respectively making the watch robustly anti-magnetic, and with the overcoil structure allowing the watch to resist positional or gravitationally induced timing deviation, which is why this watch has no trouble with the multi-positional chronometer test administered by the COSC. Rolex goes one better, taking the COSC certified movement, casing it up again at their factory, and then certifying that it is still a chronometer as a fully cased watch. Not everyone does that. The crown with multiple seals and a tight screw down security endows the watch with 100 meters water resistant. So although it is a pilot style watch, nevertheless it does have the same degree of water resistance that you will get, for example, on the Explorer and Explorer 2. This is an aquatic watch should you wish. A handsome and versatile timepiece that's tough on the inside, beautiful on the outside, and revolutionary within the scope of Rolex history. This would be a red letter model if it weren't for the fact that green is kind of its color. You can see it in full Technicolor on our website. And I am back with the GMT-Master II 116718 in yellow gold. You can see this M-Series watch glowing beautifully green at night. You can see its green GMT hand and date by day on our website.